scary. But it's literally like there's like it's a day by day. Wake up every morning. So just saying, in the meantime, maybe I'm a little bit more like subscribe you. You have a backup platform, you can find anything good shit at the fan. Yeah, there's a corner of you like right next to the fly. Yeah, you see it. Nice. So, how odd to see SAI slash people like saying worried about this and this too has resulted in a lot of lost giving any money about USAI.
You know, Boris, you walk a really fine line between love and dark, murderous fucking rage.
Shit happening and he could be on the receiving end of it.
People who lived here trusted us.
What I can do is
Failed them. And I can't even explain.
well, for people like Bosch, I guess this is a taste of the was. He was. Like, I think that's a big accusation.
Well, that's just good, clean fun, isn't it?
He was. I don't think he was. It's an audit. I think like Bosch, that's just a taste of the other side where, yeah, a lot of conservatives work
This abuse out of slingshot, I'm fucking done. See, that's so hard. You always need to be such a massive twat.
This is happening. This clip has definitely gone viral, so it's video on the subject, so let's give this small section a listen. So, this is the thing, guys. I want these people to suffer. Because that's what they did to me. I want to set an example. Get rid of these people. Put them like down their job. This is what I would keep in mind. I have to shut it. On our job. Change flags up or goes around. Yep. A lot of people were really happy about that trip. Everybody basically. Yeah, I mean, there were a few retards that were mad, but other than that, everybody else was happy. And just imagine for a decade plus, for some people, a good portion of their lives, having your favorite medium, your favorite hobby, constantly targeted by now, when we can say are state-sponsored actors. Yeah. We're trying everything to subvert your hobby, demonize you as a person just because you wanted to play a video game. It is hard not to feel some sort of negative feeling towards the people who are telling their posters of stop off. Yeah, they tell you everything they're going to do. I can't police you from the type of work you do. Responsible for attendance. Hey, no, I don't think it was the best. So long, never cared what happened to the people in the industry. They were trying to detail what happened. That they treated people unfairly, and the hostility and the anger that those people were recipients of was made. They were made to be examples. They were treated unfairly on purpose to show everybody else this is what happens if you don't do what we want. People are actually disagreeing with this. You see producers like this saying, you guys are when you said all you have to do is see the same system used against you, you're step away. I said whenever you build this system to oppress people, the only thing that you have to do for that system to oppress you is free. And apparently you have to break that line. Yeah. I would think that would be great. Well, it's just video games. Well, here's the way I look at it. If it's just video games and you want to fuck with me on that, like, I perspective that I don't attack people unless I know that I can make a tangible difference and I know that I can really kind of get somebody. So, like, in cases where I think I can make a change, I will push for it a lot. Like, for example, that one guy that made the tweet about killing MAGA people, he's kind of doing his job. He completely ruined his life, basically. And that's a W, right? But I'm not going to...
Take it from a smuggler who knows. Heads are basically pineapples filled with jam. There anyway.
windows open.
Dad took a sharky enough to know you fuckers are about to be chum. Stand back! Gonna fire some corpses home style. Seriously? What are you trying to prove with that aluminium arm wang of yours?
Tear them to pieces.
Exfil is no longer available.
Max ammo.
But they're still having this stream of income coming in, despite, like I said, I'm pretty sure they shut down their doors about a year and a half ago. Thank God. However, people have been digging, and I wanted to show their 2022 financials because this is just, it's unreal. Again, by 2022, they were completely irrelevant. But they had these sort of total revenue of $569,000 just this year. Don't forget that. This is a corporation that's giving them money. Come on, what are we doing? As I said, like, it's fucking obvious. What's your logical construct based on? My logical construct is that people that have shared interests will work together to accomplish shared goals. And I think that, in a general sense, people that view each other in solidarity will have sympathy for each other and will work towards achieving goals in ways that are sometimes more opaque than average. And in a lot of cases, it can't necessarily be defined, but it can be observed. Obviously, it's by WF. Well, I don't know about that. And so, when I see this happen, that's what I think. Grant funding, yeah, exactly, right? It's common sense, exactly. It's just common sense. Does it mean that the government was in on it, though? No, but to think that these people randomly spawned in at the UN without any sort of cooperation or help from the government at all, or people that were sympathetic to their cause in the government, I think that that's interesting. I wouldn't have assumed that. 2022. Can you imagine that? And mostly came from corporate and individual donations. About, let's say, $450,000 worth. Okay? That is absolutely insane. Think about that. How do they convince individuals and corporations to give them that much money when their cause is completely moot at this point? No one supports that. Yeah. Nobody likes this stuff. You want to see how inorganic all of this is. Look at their merch sales for the year 2022. $600. So they generate $600. This is also revenue. And so, like, you're talking about revenue is not profit. So if your revenue that you're getting from a t-shirt is, let's say you're selling a t-shirt for $20, that t-shirt is going to probably like $6 or $7 to make. So like you've sold less than 1,000 T-shirts, right? And in this case, you probably sold less than 100 T-shirts. So if you can't even sell 100 T-shirts, but you're getting donations of $250,000, what an interesting reality to be in. Dollars in merch, but can somehow generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in corporate and individual donations. And on top of that, looking at some of this stuff, what are we talking about here? Their expenditures, their total expenditures being $356,000 in 1 year. What are they spending money on? This is absolute lunacy. What are they doing? But anyways, lesson learned here. I should have been a feminist for many years because giving themselves I don't know. But all jokes aside, what's been going on with the USAID and also some other government programs has been an eye-opening experience, not just for Americans, but people across the world. It is completely unacceptable. I don't care what your political beliefs are. You cannot possibly support this misuse of government money, U.S. taxpayer dollars. And it's not just only Americans, it's other people all across the world because these people have an agenda. Well, I just think that it's interesting that all of these people on the other side of the world just like you go to the Philippines with a bunch of money. I talked to people that were in the Philippines.
I have the most whitest genes on the planet. And if any of you disagree with me, well, that's your prerogative. But you see, the thing about that is that all you people are woke and you have an agenda. You have an agenda to let in people from other countries into our countries. That is your agenda. And that is not an okay agenda because you're destroying our culture, destroying our country. You guys are not patriotic. You guys are woke. You're disgusting. And you're satanic.
Get your ass over here before I drop it.
I have the most whitest genes on the planet. And if any of you disagree with me,
This was happening.
well,
So
that's
where's the
your
money going?
prerogative. But you see, the thing about that is that all you people are woke and you have an agenda. Yeah.
I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? And look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like $200 billion with Canada. We owe 300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion.
I don't think there's any plans to invade Canada. Really, what you're seeing is a reassertion of American leadership in the Western Hemisphere from the Arctic all the way down to the Panama Canal. America has avoided our own hemisphere where we have the energy, the food, and the critical minerals for way too long, and you're seeing a reassertion of President Trump's leadership.
Okay, that was innocent like a law enforcement versus President Trump, putting up the imbalance between the U.S. spending a lot of money, and we're not getting a lot in return. That's the position. Let's find out from O'Leary Ventures chairman, General Terry, what he thinks about the president, Kevin. He's about to sign 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum and reciprocal tariffs.
Obviously, besides everything, it's just sectors up to 20%
But you can't be you. You
It's the
lucky
same in every
bastard.
situation. The entire $2
talking about comes from one single source. That's energy coming out of Earth. But Alberta is the West. And so that's the most expensive oil the U.S.
I don't know how, but it feels like the stupid box is smoking me. I'm just going to pretend it's a side effect from the way I started. Where others get frustrated, I see opportunity. It's just good business sense. It's going to take everything I have and flip me the bird for my trouble, isn't it?
Unfortunately, the one right now is pro-government collapse. He's not there anymore. So everybody's scrambling. We're waiting for the election in 90 days. The new leadership will be in place with a 4-year mandate like Trump has to negotiate all this. In the meantime, it's the premiers of provinces like Darfur, Ontario, and Daniel Smith in Alberta. They're taking trying to negotiate this stuff, and they're doing the most. The United States.
So let me just back up. What did President Trump get in return for these reciprocal tariffs? We checked. China, the EU, Canada, Mexico, they combined and have 20% to 25% tariffs on U.S. Goods like cars and I don't know if Canada would ever give up its currency to but your point about being a juggernaut. What does President Trump want in return for these tariffs? The Democrats keep saying it's going to ignite inflation.
Any chance you can spit out a fresh meat pie?
Pesos for American dollars. They already got American dollar caps. Trudeau's wiped out 40% of their net worth the last 9 years. They want an economic union because it's good for business. Everybody understands that. The two countries are so intertwined.
You know exactly what this girl wants.
It's the beginning of a negotiation.
What can President Trump get the American consumer and the American What can American public get?
Alberta has 5 times more oil and gas than the United States. Complete security on uranium, aluminum, all of the incredible resources can't.
Look at that thing.
Sorry, shot in the dark here, but are you familiar with the genes of Ruthian? Oh, yeah, he's over. He's sleeping on the bench right nearby. I just walked past the building. What? Really? Okay, well, thank you so much. Shit, it's over. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just taking a quick outdoor nap in between big bounty hunting gigs, So I guess Gene's sleeping on a bench near here?
Another day.
Alright, let's go find him.
It's pretty clean in here. Pretty clean.
I'm happy.
Check it out, dudes. It's actually pretty clean in here today. My guys actually did pretty good last night. I can't even lie. Some raspberries in here. I don't know why, but it's okay. I'm pretty happy today. Well, I'm trying to be happy every day. Because life's too short to do, and you gotta enjoy every single bit of it.
Guys, I made this homemade weight gainer shake. I'm trying to put on my weights.
I'm trying to put it all back on here, man. It's pretty much just high protein almond milk, some oatmeal, some peanut butter, and protein powder.
I'm gonna sip on this within the next hour because, man, this is actually pretty good. Damn, this is so good, dudes. Guys, I'm so happy. I'm getting my appetite back. Oh man, it feels good. It feels really good. Dude, it's my favorite time of day. My boss sent me to go buy him a coffee. This is literally the best time of my shift. Did that make sense? It did. I love it. I tell you guys, I'm loving my job nowadays. This is the greatest. That's what you should do. Love your job. Because Vinny said so. I'm just kidding. Just enjoying life, buddy. Just enjoying life. Morning. Can I get a medium double? Medium plain green tea? And an espresso.
Thank you so much. Bam! Got the coffees, green tea and espresso. My boss is buying everybody coffee. This guy's generous. Sometimes. I don't know. It's kind of cold too. It's actually really cold. Actually, it's not even that bad. Honestly, I'm just lying. It's not that bad. It could be a whole lot worse, dude. Oh no, they're blowing around. Our delivery just showed up. One of my
Security chief,
right
new
there.
arrivals. Could have used you sooner, but welcome just the same.
I see the next one.
I'm in the mansion,
Right there.
command center. Injured, but intact.
Good job.
Most
Good
everyone
job.
else is,
I'm proud of myself.
you've got eyes.
You know that?
Look,
Oh man, I got a
situation
down
under
now.
control ASAP. Are you ready for
Cool.
anything?
Oh. Not time again. My boss is sending me to go buy him Red Bull. I'm loving it. I love this kind of day. It is the best part of the day. I can't even complain. The truck is going. Alright. I just got done eating up my lunch. I got a little bit of time before I have to go back to work, so I'm just going to take this opportunity and talk about my whole situation. I quit. Listen, I quit. I think it's like 12 days ago.
And I'll do it again.
It's
many
been like
bloody
2
times.
weeks, I would say. And, great, man. I am feeling a whole lot better. I can tell you this much, at the beginning, the first week, it sucked. It sucked balls, man. It really did. One, my appetite went down a minute. I literally had no appetite, which resulted in me losing so much weight. Scary, like, it went to, I think I was like 100 pounds, 99 pounds. It was scary. I was starting to get a little bit worried, but now, look at this smile on my face. It's coming back, I'm happy. It's just crazy to me. It is crazy to me that how much being underweight can affect your mood. It affected my mood at least. I felt like garbage. I did. I was always tired. I was irritable. Not as much as I thought I was, but I was irritable. If I was on the road, it's like
There'll be no rest till extra.
Let's just put it that way because you guys, if anybody has quickies, then you guys, I think that's the word I'm looking for. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The next thing that sucks, which I'm still experiencing, is the vivid dreams. Last night I had another vivid dream, but the thing is, I would pop the dream.
Wouldn't try to unlock a knockoff from me, would you?
It would just like, it would be one thing after another, and like, sometimes I don't even remember it, sometimes I do, but that's the one thing that I'm still trying to get over. That's the one hurdle that sucks, pretty much. And what else? What else? I'm reading a lot better. I like that. Reading a lot better. And that is a good thing because I said it before and I'll say it again. I live in Toronto. It is an expensive city to live in. You couldn't even buy bubble tea, man. It's so expensive. It's just, it's like criminal, basically. Like, you go into the store and you look at a loaf of bread and you're like, $4. This stuff used to be like $1.50, and now it's just, you can't eat anymore, man. You can't eat. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to go outside and just eat grass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there are positives, like I said. There's a lot of positives. I'm sorry, I'm just so happy because look at this face. I'm smiling. Like, I'm starting to get my appetite back. I'm starting to eat a little bit more. Like, it is insane how much being on the face affects me.
which I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. When I felt so dumb. Like I felt dumb. I kept forgetting everything. I would literally think of something and the next second, gone. Like it never even existed in my mind. Now you think it would get better, but it didn't. I don't understand. I said that, but hey man, it's only been 2 weeks, right? So hopefully it gets better. I don't know why I'm doing this. Hopefully it gets better, and yeah, listen. I'm happy nowadays. I'm sure you guys can tell. I am enjoying my life, and that's what matters. You know what I'm saying, man? That's what matters. So that's the little update on me quitting weed. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of. Well, I already finished my lunch. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'll catch you through the. I'm messing up all kinds. Just got home. Just got out of the shower, and of course, I made my bowl of oatmeal. It's literally just oatmeal and like 2 or 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. Like I said earlier, I'm starting to gain my weight back, and I'm happy about that, man. I am so happy about that. I'm always gonna say this. I am so grateful for all the positive vibes that you guys are sending my way, all the comments. I wasn't expecting this, man. I'm just trying to share my story. I'm not sharing my story. I'm just trying to show you guys that, listen, we don't all have fancy jobs, but it is what it is, man. You guys are literally the greatest. You guys are, and I just want to be able to one day just give back to you guys, man. You know what I'm talking about? I've had a few comments when I was going live back in the day. People would try to send me money, donations, and I don't know. I'm not. You will never see me like I don't post a PayPal account in my description because I just don't feel comfortable.
You're watching The Legal Breakdown. Glenn, something we've been watching especially closely is the prospect of Trump not complying with court orders as he continues to commit illegal actions and then get blocked by the courts. It looks like we have finally arrived there. Can you explain what just happened?
Yeah, so a federal judge in Rhode Island who had previously issued what's called a temporary restraining order telling the Trump administration that it must lift the freeze on the billions of dollars in federal funding that had been allocated to the states. So after that order had been issued, the Trump administration had some time to comply and lift the freeze. And just today, Brian, we got another court order. It looks like the Trump administration has not complied with that temporary restraining order. So the 22 state attorneys general went back into court and sought a motion to enforce the judge's earlier order. But really the blockbuster news is this is the first time a federal court judge has issued a ruling, a finding, that the Trump administration is violating a federal court order. The judge is Judge John J. McConnell Jr., and Ryan didn't mince any words because right in the opening salvo of today's order, he said it's a basic proposition that all appointments of courts must be complied with promptly. The judge put all of that in bold print, which you don't often see in court orders. Persons who make private determinations of law and refuse to obey an order generally risk criminal contempt. That is the shot across the bow. Now, it's important to note that the judge did not hold the Trump administration or any official in contempt today, nor did he imposed any sanctions, any fines. But it sounds like when Judge McConnell is opening with, y'all are running the risk of criminal contempt, which can include punishment, including confinement. You know, the Trump administration may want to think twice about whether they want to continue to violate court orders.
The judge didn't hold these people in contempt, even though they're flouting the orders that were handed down by the court. Why not? I mean, we have seen, not just this administration in the last couple of weeks, but Donald Trump in the last few years continue to flout these orders, knowing good well that he continued to bank off of the goodwill of these judges. And yet, it seems that the justice system, that the judicial system isn't learning its lesson, that Trump isn't interested in deferring to the law, that he's going to continue to take every inch he can get. And until these judges actually take swift and severe action against him, he'll continue to barrel ahead. And so why not just learn the lessons from the past? Hold these people in contempt if you're already seeing that they're willing to refuse to abide by the court orders.
Yeah, here's why, Brad. I had 30 years as a federal prosecutor, handling, among other things, contempt charges and contempt cases. Judges never, and I'm not even going to qualify that by saying almost never, judges never hold somebody in contempt for the first violation, the first transgression. What they do is they order them to comply. Now, when you read this very short court order issued today, the judge says, you know what, the Trump administration tried to say, well, we're just ferreting out fraud, waste, and abuse, and the judge said, I couldn't give you any kind of an exception that would give you an escape hatch like that. Also, the Trump administration tried to say, well, there was actually a different executive order issued, and that's why we did or didn't do certain things. The judge didn't have none of it. So basically, you usually get one bite at the violating of court order apple before judges start to get serious. So now the judge will have to monitor this order, now that he's ordered them to comply, to see if in fact they continue to comply with the order or if they comply. And if they continue to defy it, almost the next thing we're going to see are what are called show cause hearings. You, Donald Trump, administration must show cause as to why I shouldn't hold you in contempt, because you've been warned once. And then there are different kinds of contempt. You can proceed with civil contempt, which is really more about fines, or you can go to criminal contempt, which can include detaining, confining, jailing administration officials. But let me tell you, if the judge decides to go the way of criminal contempt, there will be some more criminal contempt hearings, because then the person who is at risk of
Alright, I got a McDonald's breakfast, guys. Yay! Oh, yeah! Breakfast time. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, we got a little baby orange juice. I did click on the small orange juice. I didn't know it was that small. Come on, that's a child's orange juice. That's not small. That's child size, bro. Whatever. I got an extra large coffee. Okay. 1, 2. 3 and 4. Yeah! Okay, guys. Time to eat up.
Being confined has some due process rights, and there will be a hearing conducted. So, listen, this is not something that ever happens instantly. It usually doesn't happen, the first time there is a violation of the court order. It builds over time, but I think this one is going to build and come to a head pretty quickly.
Well, Glenn, let's game this out for a moment. Let's say, for example, that a judge does decide to try and hold an administration official under criminal contempt. Ultimately, it would be under the purview of the U.S. Marshals to actually enforce that. But aren't these U.S. Marshals under the purview of the DOJ? And so you'd have the administration would be responsible for enforcing criminal action against other administration officials, which clearly they would have no interest in doing?
Yeah, Brian, that's the perfect question because that is exactly where the rubber meets the road. Let's assume that after a hearing, the judge finds that a particular Trump administration official is in criminal contempt, knowingly, intentionally, and repeatedly violating court orders. What happens next? Well, it would be the United States Marshals Service that would be responsible for example, hauling that official into court and executing a court order to take that official into custody and put them in a Federal Bureau of Prisons facility. And people will say, well, wait a minute, because the U.S. Marshal Service is part of the Department of Justice and ultimately controlled by who? Donald Trump. Wouldn't he just tell them not to comply? He can try. But here's the thing, Brian. There's a federal law that sets out the responsibilities of the U.S. Marshal Service. Anybody scoring at home, it's 28 United States Code, Section 566. And here's what it says. It is the primary role and mission of the United States Marshal Service to provide security for federal judges and to obey, execute, and enforce all orders of the United States District Courts. What does that mean? That means that the U.S. Marshal Service is obligated by federal law to enforce court orders. And here's the thing, Brian. We are getting closer and closer to a true constitutional crisis when the executive branch of government says even though we are duty-bound by our constitutional construct to comply with lawfully issued federal court orders, we're not doing it. Then the United States Marshal Service has a decision to make, and I don't believe it's a difficult decision. Let me say, I worked with the good men and women of the U.S. Marshal Service for decades. They take their responsibility and their loyalty to the Constitution deadly seriously. And I think the success of Donald Trump, we are on the edge of a dark precipice where the rule of law doesn't exist, at least at the federal level. And that, I don't think people fully understand that yet.
That's conservative lawyer George Conway laying out a scenario that would have seemed far-fetched until recently, but it's taking on fresh significance given this judge's determination that the administration already is defying its orders. accused in a second case involving suspended U.S. aid workers of also defying a court order. In this case, though, Rhode Island Chief Federal Judge John McConnell Jr. has already made his determination and issued a warning in the form of a citation at the very top of today's ruling. It reads, quote, persons who make private determinations of the law to obey an order generally risk criminal contempt, even if the order is ultimately proved incorrect. And this is what the administration are doing, disobeying this temporary restraining order, which blocks the administration's freeze on dispersing federal grants already allocated by Congress. The Judge McConnell writes, the defendants received notice of the TRO. The order is clear and unambiguous, and there are no impediments to the defendants' compliance with the order. The judge then ordered the administration to immediately restore the frozen funding, end any funding pause, and quote, immediately take every step to effectuate the temporary restraining order. It does not, however, say what will happen if the defendant on the president's order simply says no.